Hello everyone, thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, Sunset Peony, and today we have this really fun and very colorful bird of paradise. I decided that like today is 2 days before New Year, right? And I don't know, probably January 1st this will be up in my in my channel, but this is, you know, getting so close to New Year, and you know, and we have goals and such. And so before I forget, I wanted you to if you can try to you know, usually at the very end, when all the little details and stuff are over, when I'm painting the background, that's when I really talk about, you know, what I wanted to do and things I've been doing, and, you know, chat with you guys while I'm painting the background. And so today in this painting, at the very end, I have set a goal, you know, a way of like when you guys send things to me and you really want a feedback, you know, and how I would come about doing it. And because I am a very you know, I don't like to be so in your face, you know. I like to gently let you know how I would see that there can be some progress, but it would never be directed towards you. Except today I talked to Lori about this Perylene green because it wasn't too big of you know, I think maybe other people had that problem too. It wasn't, and so I didn't really know, and so we went and did this part, and it is a fun part, and so as you watch the video, you'll know. And so I hope that you can watch to the very end, and so that you can see some of the thing that I guess is my talk to you, and about how I feel, and you know, how I can help you better, I think, for this year. And so that will be my goal that I will be setting my mind to every time I paint, you know. Then I will you know, you will hear what we will be talking about, okay? And just how I responded to you, and you know, your inquiry and things like that, okay? And so I hope you know, well, of course, as you paint with this to the very end, then you will hear that. Also, I will have this drawing, and maybe as some of the light pencil mark of the leaves, if you want to follow along, or you wanted to do some of your own leaves, you know. I know how the Bird of Paradise bush look like, but I live here in Utah. We don't have this plant, and so I don't really get to see it, except I will tell you in the painting, I actually got to see one. That was very fortunate, but I have a commission, and so I painted this, and this needs to be sent out quickly, and so I decided to do the tutorial too. Is a flower. I call this the spike petal. I really don't know how to describe these petals, so that's what I call in the whole video. But I have fun. We have fun. This is the color and the combination. I actually talk about the combination of the color. It's just very pleasing, and I love it. And I think they all work together, you know. And so I hope you will take the time to do that, and go look for the drawing if you need one. And so I think I'll just stop here. If there's nothing else to say, then I will see you. Now we're gonna start painting. Okay, let's get started, shall we? I put my brush over here so I can I'm trying to push, you know, zoom us in a little bit, and because it's a camcorder, it doesn't you know, it doesn't, like, you can't just set it to focus, but it focuses actually quite well, and it's better than some of the camera out there. Okay, now let's start with our the spikes. Okay, I think I haven't thought about it ahead of time, but I will call these the spike flower. How's that? The spike part of the flower. Okay, now each of the spike, we're gonna divide it into two parts, right? Okay, that's just you know, the way I think, and it's easier for us to you know, to manage the water. So I'm using my float brush, you know, because it has some of, today the tip is not, you know, sometimes they, you know, the brush change their personality. If I might say that, you know, they sometimes they wanted to actually, this needs to be dark, no highlight on this side. We'll leave the highlight maybe a little bit, and leave the highlight on the other side, okay? And then what we will do is just, you know, I use a cadmium. I will tell you about my color choice. I have some cadmium yellow, cadmium yellow medium mixed with cadmium red medium. Okay, so that will be our kind of orangey. Now I can see that this brush is going to be a little too wet for me, so I changed to a number 2. You know, the reason why I, you know, started just now with this bigger brush is because I thought that it could, you know, we could go with that and be able to go a little bit, you know, just, you know, brush in the color in a big bunch, but it doesn't look like it wants to do that. It looks like it is, you know, telling me that, Kathy, it is a little too much moisture in that brush. Okay, so we're gonna change to this for now and clean up the other one. We might go back to that, you know, and you know, I use this brush to paint this one, right? I told you that this is one of my that one is gonna go out as soon as I can go to the post office really soon. That means because it's a commission for someone's anniversary. It's Bird of Paradise, and so I done all the research and the work and you know, the drawing and the practice for it. So I thought, oh, okay, I'm going to do a now you can see that, you know, this number 2 is a little bit lacking. Okay, now I felt like, you know, this is how, you know, you can tell, right, what brush is the, I felt like that I could use a little bit more, you know, faster of a swipe, but you know, of laying down of color, but that's okay. You know, you know, we decide to use this one. I'm going to use this, and I think it will, because this is the largest of the spike, one of the larger of the spike of the flower petal, and so we will, it probably will go very well. Okay, and so what I do is I lay down the cadmium yellow medium and then the mix of the, so it's more orangey. It is just my you know, when I practice and the way I look at it and how I wanted, how vibrant I wanted the color, and so I just kind of make the decision to use the base with the cadmium yellow as the base, because it's just it is just now I'm putting this right next to the other one in the painting. Okay, that is fine unless you know, it doesn't separate, but it looks like separating very well, and if it doesn't, then we can just use a darker color and separate the 2 petals. That's not a problem, and we practice that a lot, right? I think you guys know what I'm talking about, you know. Like I might just like come over here and just slightly, you know, put some color over there to separate the 2. Then we've done that already. Okay, and so now this is quite a big spike over here too, and I just wanted to let me put a little bit of darker red down here, and what I'm just doing is I'm like doing my same thing again. I'm making the form, okay, and I'm trying to get that bottom part to look like it is darker, so that will push that part away and it look like a blossom instead of a flat spike, right? Okay, let's go back to more cadmium yellow medium. Okay, and then we'll do this one. Okay, so this is the side where we would like to leave maybe a little bit of a highlight over here. Okay, you know, I don't get to see the Bird of Paradise except because, you know, I'm in Utah. Utah is in a very, very cold. Today is so dark, so dark, and good thing I'm, you know, I'm quite good. I don't really have issues, you know, with the darkness. But wow, it's been dark, like the, you know, the cloud, like okay, I leave a little bit of highlight there. Okay, the cloud look like they are about a mile deep into the sky, right? Oh, and you know, I'm not a big fan of that. I really am not. What I like is, you know, I like the season. I like the snow. The only thing that I do with the snow is I go shuffle, and I can tell you that is playing for me, because if I shuffle in the dark, like after the daylight is gone, and if I'm the only one out there shuffling, it's very, very peaceful. and so I like doing that. But the next day I like the sun to come out. You can see how I darken this area, and it's looking pretty, right? And so I like I like the snow. I don't really mind it because I like winter. Cold weather is works better for me. Some people like hot weather. I like cold weather. Humid weather is not good with me. I do not like them, and they make me kind of tired. It wears me out. It drains me if it is very hot and humid. And I've always been like that since I was like in my teens, and and then I grew up in Hong Kong, right? I don't know. I really don't know. Why I behave like that. It's almost like I'm ill, actually. If I'm under too hot, and then as soon as fall come, I'm just totally perk up and happy and more cheerful. I actually I know another person that's like that, so that's good. For me, that I know that I'm not totally weird. Okay, and that's more the mix of orange color. Okay, and I leave this a little more of the yellow color so that it look like a bloom. Like that, right? More of a solid shape instead of and so that's what we're trying to accomplish. Okay, as we go, and it does have a kind of like a vein over the middle. Okay, and then let's do the one behind it. The spike flower behind it. And so I'm not, I probably would not be very, very happy, and you're asking, Kathy, why are we painting like bird of paradise? Because this is so much of a, Hawaiian, I guess, kind of flower. Well, it's because, one is because I have a commission for it, and so I've been working on it, and even if I get a commission, I usually work really hard. I research and I think, and now I'm just like, getting this color is a little bit of a paler, not as intense as this, but we still need the orangey red, okay, the mix of that two color, and I will put that on my block, okay, so you will know which color to prepare to get them mix, so you can mix, but I use this mix a lot. But in a minute, when we go down to here, I'm going to introduce you guys. Ooh, there's some pencil mark. Oh, I need that pencil mark. Never mind. Do you sometimes not forget why you draw something? Anyway, and so I decided to do that. But, and then as I was thinking and researching and practicing, I actually think to myself, Kathy, the people in your neighbors, so many people in the after Christmas or before Christmas, they all go, before the kids need to go back to school or something, they all go to Hawaii. Some of them had, what do they call, timeshare or whatever. It's over there. I don't usually do that. Like I told you, humid. Like if you suggest me to go to a humid area, I will usually say, think about it and then not think about it anymore because, but if you tell me to go to the mountain like Yellowstone and, up north, then I'll just perk up really fast, That is just my personality because I just really, really have hard time. But, a lot of my neighbors actually leave and they go and, for a week or so or whatever. So it is it is kind of like a festive kind of time for people when their family is around. They took their children and all go. I guess they're trying to escape from the winter. You can really see my preference, right? I don't try to escape from the winter. I stay here and I embrace my winter, but not dark like today. Like I said, I like it to snow, and then now I'm going back to the cadmium, red medium and the yellow mix, okay, and do a little bit of a shadow, kind of almost like a shadow on the edge, okay? Yeah, so I like to stay. My husband, my husband are not really holiday, travelers. It's hard for us. It really is always. I don't really like the airplane very much. I used to get motion sickness, but now I have a watch that my husband got me, and it's not acupuncture. It's a electric shock kind of watch. I use that, and I don't have motion sickness anymore. It worked like a charm. I absolutely love it. Anyway, so but actually I recently have seen this plant because there was a funeral in my area. One of my friend, her husband just passed away. He passed away in the tennis court right before Christmas. wow. But you know, those tennis players, they really loved their tennis, and they were joking. Actually, some of the buddies and friends were joking that, well, the best way to die is in the tennis court, and he did. Well, he was not supposed to. He was not supposed to go play, and you know, I laughed because his wife laughed about it. The morning he wanted to go play, he just say goodbye to her and say, "I'll see you at lunch." He was gonna take her to eat at Takarana, and then you know, and then he just started the playing. Then he can't catch his breath, and so his buddy told him, "Why don't you just sit down here for a while?" And he did. And then next time the buddy turned over, he was on the ground, and I think he was very happy. He was 80 years old, and has always been a very good man, and teach a lot of students and children how to play tennis. You know, tennis coach up in Salt Lake City. Anyway, we have a lot of tennis people in our area. Okay, now that's very, very, you know, we're, you know, not really a fast pace, but this is the, you know, the nature of this painting, right? We only use the cadmium yellow, okay, again, cadmium yellow on this small brush, and then I'm gonna go over here and, you know, the leaf, this leaf, we're gonna talk a little bit about the color, is really kind of awesome. Awesome in the sense that the way it's like this, right? It opens up, and when it opens up the middle, the flower come out from the middle. And so we're gonna try to portray that the best that we can. But during this, my friend's husband's funeral, they had a bird of paradise. Wow! But since we're in Utah, you know that is imported, and so it wasn't very huge bird of paradise, but it was still very pretty. And so after the service, I went up there and observed, and that's why I come up with the color, because I personally felt like there's a lot of red in it, a lot of yellow in the base and red. And so when I'm observing, right, if you guys could see me, you would just say Kathy's kind of silly. She, at the end of the funeral, she actually went up and, oh, okay, I shouldn't be doing that. Okay, I need to give it a minute, okay, until this dry before I do the other side, okay. I repented of it, and so what should we do? Let's come to this one, okay. This one is actually the cadmium and the orange, but then it has a little bit of purple, and so let's do that, okay. Let's put the side that has the orange on first, okay. Okay, so did I get that one right? Yeah, I think I get that one right. Okay, and then over here, I'm just going to do that one. There is a red purple, okay? We're using red purple and magenta and blue purple today, okay? Dioxazine purple. And so let's do this side over here. You know, I'm just looking at an image, and then I'm just following it quite... okay, I didn't put the line there, but as for you, when I give you guys the little drawing to follow, it will be there, okay? Don't worry. You know me, I am just kind of like that, you know, I draw, I like to draw with my brush. Okay, I just drop a big drop of water over here. Let's absorb that, okay? And I probably should have a napkin ready here in my hand, so that if that accident happen, I will have it ready. Okay, so I'm going to go in and fuzzy this side a little bit, okay? Fuzz it up. Not so sharp, okay? And then when that's dry, I will put a swipe of orange on it, and then go back to the red, the quinacridone violet, okay? I'm having it, it's just right next to me. I could use a sharper brush, but I think I'm, you know, so if you want to, you can use this nice zero if you have ordered that. That's a very fun one, you know, to, you know, use this, but I kind of trust my own, you know, my own skill, and so I'm just going to swipe it and make sure that it's pointed, okay? I just swiped some that purple on it, and then I say, hey, I'm going to put some pink on this side. Now this is magenta, okay? Now look how pretty it is. It has, you know, from what I can see, I wish you can see this painting, like right here, it's just very, very vibrant and pretty, the color. Okay, now I'm going into the cadmium yellow and red mix, and then from this over here, I'm gonna just put a little bit right there of the orange. Now, the thing that we are going through is we're putting purple next to yellow. Okay, purple and yellow are opposite color. What do you call that? Complementary color. And so when you do that, you need to like pay a lot of attention, and it's good that when it's dry. Okay. Now, so that's the value of of painting along with me, right? Because as I paint, I share with you my experience. Okay. And so when there are times when you can drop color right next to complementary color right next to each other, and there are times that when you wanted to just really give it a break, okay, give it a chance to what do you call that? Give it a chance to have a moment to dry before you put it next to each other, and then if you do that, then that's the chance that you can put even purple right next to yellow color without making them turn into mud. Okay, so I don't really have anything to hide. Most of my skill is right here, right in front of you. Okay, now over here there's need to be a little stripe of magenta. Okay, so we're just gonna give it some of those detail and just do that. Okay, so this brush to me is quite fine, so I'm able to use that. And so if you have since this spike petals are so okay, this is quinacridone violet again. Okay, now we're gonna do this little part over here, and then come over here and kind of encapsulate this flower that come out of this area. Okay, that's the best descriptive work that we encapsulate it. And then with that magenta, with that violet, we also want to drop some magenta, because that's what the color that I come up with, and I think that with that two color together, it just make it so pretty, and so I wanted to do that with you. Okay, now this is we're gonna just soften this area, and then this area is going to be the same thing. Okay, and so we're gonna come down here but it will probably be more magenta because it's coming into the shadow, because this is the part that's coming out from the green part of the plant, and you see that in a minute. Okay, so we're gonna do this magenta as much as we can. Okay, and then on the edge over here we will soften it. We'll clean the brush, dry it, and then soften it a little bit, because we're gonna do something else over here. But then to make this more brilliant, I'm going to drop some magenta in it, the violet. Okay, in the violet there will be some magenta, and now after I drop it, I'm just going to let it dry. I mean, let it mix over here by itself, which I do that a lot. Sometimes I mix, like today, these orange color, I actually mix the red medium and the yellow. And so now okay, let's try. Okay, let's do this part over here, because I was Lori, hi Lori Campbell. She's my friend. I met her here, and she's been following, I think, even from the beginning. So almost a year now, Lori, isn't it? So sometimes she tell me, and I appreciate that she tell me how she's up to and how she's picking up things. And she told me she had problem with Perylene green. Okay, so now I have my Perylene green over here. I'm picking this up. It's this puddle over here. Okay, and so I use the Perylene green over here, and so I'm going to let you see how I'm going to do this. Okay, so that's I actually could use a thicker brush here, but since I'm already dropped it in with this brush, I'm going to show you how beautiful and easy to use, because well, I only had time to ask her, and she told me that, oh, Kathy, I have problem with the Perylene green, it's hard on her. And so I asked her, and I haven't heard back from her yet. And so now I'm going to come in and soften it. Okay, I clean the brush, and so there's no pigment. Okay, it's kind of dry-ish, but not, you can't get the brush totally dry, right? And so so it's kind of random. Okay, you can see that the color of the Perylene green is kind of random, and I randomize it and just let it be random, because it will make it very, very pretty in a minute, you see. Okay, and so this is the Perylene green. Okay, so I'm saying that maybe I drop a little bit of pigment, a little bit more, not much more. Okay, just like that. Okay, now why do I do that? because then I'm going to introduce you to a new mix, okay? And then I'm going to winning mix. I always call them the winning mix. But now I have to let this dry a little bit, because I'm trying to, in a minute, I'm going to charge, not charge, I'm going to put the dioxazine purple, which is the blue purple. This is the red purple, right? And we're going to put the blue purple. And when the Perylene green, okay, from I think Winston Newton, okay, I'm going to put some here, some more here, because I really want some mix of beautiful color in a minute, okay? Now I'm going to let it dry, okay? When those two colors get together, oh, they become this beautiful color that nature has, okay? And so now I have this dioxazine purple, and then I have the phthalo blue, okay? Now I'm going to mix those two. You don't have to mix them really mix. You just have to, and in this we need more blue than purple, okay? So just, you know, kind of, that's what I do, kind of, you know, put more blue than purple, because there's this stem that come out here that have this bluish purple color. Now if you look at nature, okay, some of the flower like this bird of paradise, right, it is just full of beautiful color. And those of you, you know, I have another friend, she also like to go, and she say, oh Kathy, you really need to try, her name is Anne, and I love her, and she's just one of my good friend. Sometimes I send my painting to her for her to take a look before I, you know, my practice and such, you know. And I just, you know, she's just a very awesome, a good person. So nature likes to mix their own color, and when they mix color, they use what they have within the plant, okay? So this is what I find out from observation, you know. And then if you just use what you have, and then if you want to add, you can add a little bit of something to it, and it will work, okay? And if you really like some of the artists are into mixing color, okay, I just put some burnt umber over there, okay? Just because it's just pretty, you trust me, put some burnt umber, the brown, okay? And now I need to come over here and then use the dioxazine purple. Now this time I'm not mixing any blue in it, okay? Because I'm painting what I see, okay? And if I see something, I think I should paint it. And so in the cross between this one in the front to the one at the back, there is a little bit of purple flower spike there, okay? And I'm going to do my best to put it in here so that, but you know, now if you look at this painting, you imagine how, you know, the burst of color that I have in front of me, right? It's just awesome. Now I wanted to just explain, maybe with my, you know, the spike over here is just kind of like the brush, right? It's round, it's full. I don't know what's full inside, maybe it's liquid, you know, and this is full, right? And so we need to just constantly have that in our mind so that we're not doing a flat painting, if that makes sense, okay? But not a lot, you know, not a lot of attention need to be given to that, but, you know, just I'm coming in here to soften this. Just some will be good, okay? But you can see how gorgeous this is right now already, right? Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, since this is a small brush, okay? And, you know, I have a problem. Sometimes I use small brush and finishing the whole painting using small brush, even though I knew I should be using a bigger brush, you know, but I do that when I have started it, then I just like kind of, you know, I go with it, you know, 1, 2, 3, go, you know. One of the Chinese artists actually like to do that. It was so funny. Okay, now with, you know, I just slapped down some pigment, okay? I'm pulling, this is a clean brush now, okay? Pulling this so that it mix with this. Mix with this is not the right word, so there's a smooth transition between this part of the stem, of this leaf, okay? And then I'm going to soften it as it goes, okay? Now I'm going to soften it, and as I softening, you know, you see what I'm doing. I'm pulling this purple color into the Perylene. You see that? Do you see how beautiful that color had turned into? I just really, really hope that you can see that. But because I wanted to keep the fullness of this, okay, so I'm putting the pigment, make my brush wetter so I can pull up some pigment. I'm putting some darker pigment down here, okay? And then as I go up, you know, I'm clean brush now, no more pigment, okay? And I pull this color into the Perylene green, okay? The dry Perylene green. Oh, yes, you know, that two color. So now you say, Kathy already gives you guys another combination, another winning combination. I don't know if I have time to do that. Let me see if I have a card, okay? Now this is kind of like a card that I've used for something, okay? Okay, so Perylene green. I'm going to do this just for wet and see how that turn out, okay? Perylene green, but it's not too wet, so I should put a little bit more of Perylene green here. And I'm going to right now charge the dioxazine purple into it, okay? This paper is not, it's just floating in mid-air right now, okay? I just want you to see, okay? So what do I get here? I got some kind of greenish, purplish gray. You know, that's the best that I can, you know. So if you have both color, try it, okay? Try it and see if you like it. I think you will. I think you will. Okay, now I'm going to, you know, at this time, you know, I'm successfully, hopefully, you know, you felt like I'm successful too, have make this into a roundish, okay, lighter and then to the darker, okay? Now if I want it to be a little darker, I can go back into the dioxazine purple and darken that a little bit, okay? Now this is the practice of form, right? That my maestro and me realize that that's just absolutely important, that we should do that, okay? And so it makes it just kind of come up like a cupping shape, okay? Or pyramid shape. Now I'm going to go into the red purple. Now I'm using my zero brush to dip, and I know that sometimes I need to be more prepared and have a puddle of wet ready, but you know, this is how I dip my color, okay? Now this is full of it, but full of the color, but I'm not sure if it is intense enough, okay? So intense color, lay on intense color is very, very important. And so this is what I do, okay? We need to come over here and draw a little V on this area, okay? And that is our deepening of that color. So it make this look like it just go in. And it's the same way with over here, okay? Put a little bit more over here because we want this to be a cup with the flower coming out from the cup, right? And so that's what Kathy, me, is trying to portray, okay? Now, so that part is done because this is not a big, huge painting. I can't just keep sitting over there. Maybe I'll put a drop over here too, because from my practice, I can see that I've done something over there, okay? Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the, separate the spike with a little bit of quinacridone magenta. No, magenta, just magenta. No, this is not quinacridone. I actually have quinacridone magenta, but since I have magenta, I'm now softening it, okay? And since I have magenta, I haven't used the quinacridone one. It's just sitting there waiting for me. Okay. Other than putting a little bit of green, okay, so I'm gonna put some Perylene green, maybe right over here. But why do I do that? Because that is actually a hole in the flower that can allow you to see to the other side, okay? To the other side. The other side, what is the other side? The other side is the background, okay? So I'm just putting that ahead of time so I won't forget later, okay? Now, so let's come over here and we will now do the stems, okay? So I will still use the, now do you see that now that, that purplish greenish color is just, it's just so stunning. I don't know what else to say about that, okay? So I'm going to come in here and take some lighter green, okay, and working towards the stem now, okay? Towards the stem now, I'm going to pull this color down as much as I can, and then with this small brush, I hope you guys can, as times go on, you make your own decision which brush to pick up because, it depends on how big you want to make your own painting too, right? Mine is about 8 by 10. And so if you do smaller, then you use, you know, more intricate thing, then you use smaller and drop Perylene. Okay, drop some more Perylene, and then I can drop indigo too. Okay, so I have the same little plate, and I'm going to pick up some indigo and put it over here. You know, just a variation of color. Okay, so Laurie, I hope that that will give you a little bit of you know, thing to try your Perylene green again. Okay, now I'm having a clean brush because I kind of want this to be lighter, but it doesn't have to. I'm just picking on things right now. Okay, just a second, let me get a drink. And I also wanted to, you know, all I did is I just drink some water and I come right back. I usually like to stay focused when I paint. I don't I don't go and do a lot of things. Like, I don't stop and then go do something else and come back. I usually just one breath, you know, I do the whole thing. Okay, now I'm going to do the background now and just let this rest. Okay, I know that it could be because, like, okay, let me try to think about how to put it. Like, if I see one of your painting, okay, so I encourage you guys to send me your painting. Now we're just gonna do the leaves, okay, because somehow I have seen one of these in person. I think it's when I was young in Hong Kong, so I know how they grow. But they have these leaves that are next to them, and they kind of grow out in between the leaves, okay. And so I'm going to, you know, just talk to you guys while I am. Now, since we're off to the background, you know how I usually do it, because I don't want to spend a lot of time doing the background. So I'm doing, like, this leaf is probably the most detailed leaf that we will do in this painting, okay? And even if it is the most detailed, it's not going to be that detailed, okay? And so I have a thought that I really wanted to talk to you guys about, okay? So it's kind of wet, so we're going to come in here, and now it's the same thing. I'm coming in here with the Perylene color, okay? Because yours truly, Kathy, really like a mixture of color. I don't really like just one color, okay? So, and because this is not the what you call that, the center of attention of my composition, so I don't really you know, so the way I drop in the color is very loose, okay? And that's how I like to do it. Now, you guys can do, if you don't like that, you know, don't like my style of very loose watercolor, because this is the part I really think is very, very fun about watercolor, and because you allow the, you know, the paint to mix. Do you see how brilliant the color is turning out? Now, because of my 1, 2, 3 free light next to me, it's harder for me to see, but I can still see, and so I like to do that, okay? I always like to do it, but you however can use a very detailed brush and go in and do details, you know. I wouldn't, like, it is my experience that I wouldn't do that, but if you guys like to, then you can't. You definitely can, okay? And so that's just something, that's one of the thought I also wanted to you know, just one of the thought I wanted to tell you, because I've been, you know, Christmas time, I have time, my children are not here, so I've been thinking about things, and I, you know, just kind of wanted to talk, right, about what you guys wanted to do. And you know, I'm doing the same thing. I really don't have a drawing here. I might draw it for you, you know, just kind of something that kind of look like a leaf, their leaf, the leaf that they, you know, they like to grow, but not really that detail into it, okay? And now I'm going to drop the color of the Perylene green, okay, again onto the, and Laurie, if you want to, I encourage you to do this with me, okay? Now, I don't really know what Perylene green or what is your color that you're using in your painting, you know, because I have suggested that, you know, that if you have some color, you use those color. If you don't have the color, then you can go start buying things from Daniel Smith, you know, or the, you know, what they call the professional watercolor, okay? If you wanted to do that, you should, you know, you really should, because then our painting will be kind of like each other, because maybe you ask me the question, Kathy, how come I have a hard time with the color? But if you're not using the same color as I do, then sometimes it'll be hard for me to understand what is going on in your neck of the wood when you're at home. Okay, now so this is like kind of fun. This is a leaf, right? It's just like this is a leaf. Okay, now I come in here and say, okay, let's soften this a little bit. Okay, just because because I'm picky. Okay, now I soften this area a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go over and do the other side. And also, if I wanted you to let me know what painting and how it looks like that you've been painting at home. But I am a very understanding, person, because I know I'm an artist and I learned for a lot of years, and I am also kind of like a private person. I really am. And so I have my own business, and I kind of, I don't really even know why I would come here in front of you and, teach and paint. But I really love it, though, by the way. But I would love it, but if you would, I would never tell you, like even if you ask me, hey, say, Kathy, tell me what you think. This is my painting. You will probably get a response from me that say you're doing a great job. You know why? Because I just can't. Even if I see a problem, I can't, say, well, I can't say anything. Okay, let's just say that. I can't even think of an example. And so, but I will think about it. Because I was, because I would, see that something is going wrong, or I wouldn't say wrong, different, okay? And maybe a little weak, and then I will just, tell myself, what happened there, okay? And then what will happen is, the next time here, when I'm doing a different painting, I will remember, because I'm a thinker, I always think about things. I do, okay? I think about how to help you guys to, realize, like that you'll be happier with your painting. Let's just, say it that way. And so I will come back here, and then what I will do is I will say something like, trust me, okay? Put more color into that thing. Things like that, okay? And trust me, okay? And then I will say things like that. Now, when I say things like that, that it's because I see that, I need to say things like that to help all of you to, if you think that there's something wrong and you can't put your finger on it, okay? Then eventually I would say something here. I will say something here, and then you will, and then you suddenly say, oh, Kathy is actually talking to us about what she thinks, and sometimes I will actually say it, because I think that will be a little more, what do you call that? Now, I mix the Perylene green and the yellow, actually, and the cadmium yellow in my brush, okay? Because, as I go towards the back, I'm going to be even more loosey, watercolor-ish style, okay? Over here. Okay, so I'm going to, just make a fantasy or abstract kind of leaf shape over here. Okay, so let me finish my thought over there first. Okay, now over here I know that I need to intensify that, but I'm not going to do that because this is a wet, it's very, very wet right here, okay? And so, if you I know that for those of you who are truly following me and learning, then eventually you hear it, and then you say, oh, okay, that's what I need, okay? And so this is how I would choose to do that, so that I will be respectful to you guys, okay? I'll be respectful to you guys and not discouraging. And because I think that the next time you learn, then you learn from me, and you can just actually try what I said to you, okay? And so this is how I choose to maybe express our relationship of the if you ever wanted a critique from me, you will see that, oh, why don't Kathy just straight away tell me, because this is how I want it to be, because I don't think it's very productive, because, you know, wow, we worked so hard and it's very personal. Okay, that's the way I look at it. And so I wanted you to have a good experience, you know, and rejoice in your painting. It doesn't matter, you know, because like I say, you know, the journey is long, right? And so it has to be, and it is just the way it is. And so we don't really worry about one particular one and what is happening with that one particular painting, okay? If you like it, then it is a winner, okay? But Kathy, me, will once in a while give some tip, okay? And so, you know, and then if you are listening, you know, or following me the next one, then you say, oh, Kathy, I think she's talking to me. I think that's like kind of nice way to, you know, to be a teacher and to be a friend. You know, to be helpful, I think, you know, and kind, you know, and so, and then you will, you know, when the time is right, you just say, yeah, I need to pay attention to that, maybe, you know, well, let me try that. Let me try what Kathy said and see if that actually helped. And so now I explain to you my personality, and that's, you know, usually how I like to do things, right? And so it's kind of hard for me, you know, if I, you know, even have ever had a chance to actually teach you guys in person, you know, because then you will, you know, you just take your time and you learn it. And then, you know, make sure you critique yourself and say, you know, what can I do to do better? You know, and what, think a bit, what is it about this that I don't like? If you don't like it, you know. And so that will be, you know, and, you know, I guess you can have like more of a curious attitude, you know, like, right, you know, can I do this better? You know, I always critique myself. And so that's the one way I can, you know, explain to you how I get better, right? And so I just been thinking about that and wanted to tell you that's how I feel, okay? I always wanted to be helpful and encouraging. Okay, I'm kind of a little focused right here because I'm pulling and I don't want to destroy any of the thing that we made, right, together. And so, okay, so, you know, tell me how you think, okay? What you think about that, you know? And so you can, you know, I know that when the time is right, you guys will take off. And it will take off in many, many ways, okay? It will take off, like I had a little coming into that petal, but it doesn't really bother me. I can fix it or I don't have to. Okay, now, and so I just, you know, for this new year that's coming up, right? And I wanted to, because it's tomorrow. I think tomorrow is New Year Eve. Yeah, I think it is. And so I just wanted to, you know, have a happy year that we can be together and painting together. And then, you know, I just don't want you guys to think that I don't really worry about you or care about your progress, you know, and that would be very sad, you know, if I come across as that, you know. No, that's not me, you know. You can, you know, have confidence in me that I do care about what's happening with you, okay? I do, and would like to help in any way that I can when you paint, you know, and so, you know, this is what will happen if you send me, you know, if you, you know, like include in an email or something, you know, to me, which some of you had done, and I absolutely love it, you know, so don't worry, okay? Don't worry. I'm going to, you know, you're going to have fun if you, you know, even let me know, but I would never push you, you know, unless you really, really have a problem that you know, you're just puzzling you and you're just like, man, what's going on? But, and so today I wanted to tell you that if you have been, like, I've been in this channel for over a year now, right? And so if you, you know, really think that it's time when I think I'm ready to get some better paints, then that will be good, you know, to be honest. And that will be because then our painting will be using the same paint, and then you know, if you have any frustration, you will know that, you know, it could be the paint and it might not be, you know. But to be honest with you, you know, if you just keep going at this, you know, eventually, and I don't know how eventually it will be, but it all depends on the person, you know, but I promise you, eventually, you'll just be so happy, you know. It's just the process of learning, right? That's just, eventually you'll be so happy because you will get it, and you see your mistake, or you will know how to change it. Like, you know, I have to tell you too, you know, you know, no illusion of grandeur here, you know. I make mistake still, like, you know, wow, sometimes I just, you know, make a piece of dogs, you know, to my own opinion, you know, that I can call my own painting a dog, and then I will struggle and struggle, and sometimes I put it down still, you know, and then wait until the, you know, I will be thinking about it. That's what I usually do things. I, you know, just thinking about it, because my brain is always thinking, and so I don't, you know, my brain don't really take breaks, and so when I'm thinking, and one day I will get it, and then I'll just say, oh, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, and then I jump on it, and then, you know, even if it is odd hours of the night, and my husband will say, wow, Kathy, you've been working in the studio for a long time. And I will just say, yeah, I'm trying something. You know, I'll talk to you later. And and then I will emerge from my dungeon. I call it my dungeon. And then it used to be a dungeon. I moved to a lighter room now. I moved to a room that has a window. It used to be in the basement in my dungeon. Really, I was in the dungeon and just working. And so I will emerge, and then he will say, wow, you know, and then I'll say, look, you know, I figured it out. And he said, I knew you would, you know. And sometimes, you know, it all depends how much time. Now I'm dropping some purple in here just for fun, okay? Just so that there's some purple in the background, okay? I'm doing a lot of background with you because I'm talking to you about, you know, the process of how we learn together, right? Okay, I need to straighten that part out a little bit, because some of the liquid had gone into that area. And then I will use this one, the same number 2, okay? And then I'll sharpen it, means that I will erase the green, and the yellow will show up again. Isn't that nice? I'll erase the green that had gone into the spike petal. There you go. And if it doesn't, then you know what I will do? I will go back to my yellow, and then I'll put it back, okay? See how easy it is, you know, with the working with yellow. We don't get that lucky on any, you know, any particular one, but with this one we'll get lucky. Okay, now I'm going to do a, you know, one over here. Just pretend like we have pretending like there's one coming here, okay? And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use the Perylene green mixed with the dioxazine purple, like right here, okay? Like right down here. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm suggesting that there's another plant over there, right? That's what I'm suggesting. Okay, kind of mix the two together. But since this is not the, you know, not the center of attention, I just want this to be vaguely in the background so you can see it. You can see that there's another one. You know, that's how I do that, because, you know, with the suggestion of the color, then people, in people's mind, they will just say, oh, there's another one at the back. It's kind of fun. It's really fun that way. Okay? And then this spike's coming out, right? Anyway, so if you guys say, hey, Christmas is over, I still have some budget, you know, I want to get some paints, then, okay. Yeah, I say go ahead. You have my blessing. But you don't need it. You can just do whatever you want, okay? But you have my blessing here, okay? And I love it, you know, I love it. And that when you guys tell me I have tried this, I have tried that, because, you know, then I know that I'm not sitting here doing this by myself, right? Look how pretty. Do you see that something is coming out from the back? Then I know that I have friends painting with me, and that my effort of here will not be future for my daughter when they have time. It will be for all of your benefit. And we'll, you know, grow and we'll learn together is the best. And that is very, make me very excited, you know. I want to do more sometimes I would, just try this and try that. Just I'm thinking, always thinking, how to make this better, how to make it more friendly, and how to help you guys. That's always in my mind. Okay, you see that? You see that now? You see that there's one at the back, okay? But I have to come in and not let the line go too sharp, because you don't want to feel like this is as sharp as that one. That's just now you know that this is a bush, and there's things coming out from all different direction, okay? And then so what I'm gonna do is just slap in some green over here, and I think that's it, and that's our painting. It's kind of fun. I hope you have fun, and I thank Joanne for ordering this from me, and we can send it out, and I hope that I have answered some question, and I hope I can make you guys feel more at ease, and at ease, and be safe, when you're around me, because there's no reason to not be safe. I am a very safe person. I would not make you feel bad, to the point where you don't want to paint, Yeah, I know, I laugh about that, I hope, I will not do that, because, it's a very good thing that we're doing here. It helps you, it helps your mind, it helps you with learning and with focusing and all the good things, and so let's have the good things together, okay? We have this good thing that we have going, and we will continue to have this going, and I think I'm going to do a little one over here. Okay, I'm just going to do that with you, and then I have to say goodbye, okay? Because I just really love you guys and love your support, okay? I really, really do love your support so much, and I hope you have fun here, and I hope you can feel comfortable with me and safe in this channel, and we will progress here together and just have a lot of fun, and be really good friends, okay? And be very helpful, and I will get help from you guys too, when you give me comments and suggestion and whatnot, okay? And so let's do that together. And so you see what I just did, right? I'm putting one over here. I need some purple. I probably need some red purple, but I'm going to drop some blue purple in there, and that's you can hardly see it, so you don't really have to worry where it goes. And I'm going to put some blue purple in there, okay, and then you can see that there's another one somehow was underneath this one, so it's kind of fun, isn't it? Didn't even use in this painting, we didn't even use some of my I kind of want to use some Chinese ink, but I didn't, and it looked like there's no place for it, and so we probably will not be using that, and maybe in the next painting, because I like to use the Chinese ink to use as a, to make things darker. But I think that with this painting is already dark enough, right? And so I'm going to drop color here and there, and then I will talk to you in the intro, and then we'll say goodbye now, okay? But I think I walked you through the whole thing, and it's been very fun. Okay, remember we had done this, the mix of the dioxazine purple together with the Perylene green, okay? Good one. Okay, thank you. Subscribe to me, okay? Bye-bye.